Let's discuss configuring opt-in preferences in Glyphic through flows. So when a new beneficiary sends a message for the very first time, the beneficiary can get an opt-in message to give their consent to receive messages from the bot. So let's begin by creating a new flow, which we've called opt-in demo. And for your opt-in flow, you can use the keyword opt-in to trigger this flow. So let's begin by creating a message. And you'd like to craft a message to let the user respond with their opt-in preferences. So here's an example of a message that you can send your user. So as you can see, you'd like to give your user two options to respond with. Either one, giving us permission to contact them, or two, if they'd rather just message us when they need information. And now we create a wait for response node by dragging the arrow. And here we'd like to address the possible responses we might receive. So let's say has a number equal to, and if the user responds with 1, we categorize that as opt-in, and 2, let's call this status quo when the user only wants to message us if they need information. And let's name our result opt-in. And remember, you can refer back to this result variable with @results.optin. And here, let's also say continue when there is no response within 5 minutes. So if the user hasn't responded within 5 minutes, the flow will continue. So let's deal with these two categories first. So if the user responds with anything other than 1 or 2, let's send them back to this original message. And we'll do the same thing if they don't respond within 5 minutes. And now, for the status quo option, where they have typed 2, they can exit the flow, and we'll say something like, no worries, you can always change that by sending us help, so that if they'd like to change their opt-in preferences, they can. And now let's take a look at the option where they do opt in. First, let's create a collection. This way, all our users who have opted in will be in one place where we can find them. So let's say add the contact to a collection, and here we'll call this opt-in contacts. And if you'd like to learn more about collections, please refer to our collections demo. So now let's also update the contact with this new information. Glyphic uses the settings variable to update the beneficiary's profile details in the system. So let's create an update contact node, and we'll use the settings variable. And let's call this opt-in. So here, for this contact, it'll update settings to opt-in. Lastly, let's send them a message. Let's say, thank you. And that's how you create an opt-in flow.